Today Ari replaces this. What will Ari subvert tomorrow? I come across similar statements every day. Tell the truth. I'm also a little worried about my job. Will the consulting industry be disrupted by Ari? So I did some research and an experiment. Gradually, I also came to my own judgment. Ari won't kill the consulting industry, but consulting firms must evolve. How to understand this matter has to start with an American company. 1. The most mysterious technology giant in Silicon Valley. This company is called Palantir, founded in 2003. The one to the left of Musk. It's his founder, Peter Thiel. Compared to Musk, he is much more low-key. The same goes for Palantir, once one of the most mysterious technology giants in Silicon Valley. So what does he do? Simply put, just connect the data scattered everywhere, find clues from it, find patterns, make seemingly unrelated data suitable for each other. 2011. A U.S. troop station in Afghanistan encounters a roadside bomb. System analysis. A day and a half has no effect. Palantir only takes 3 hours. Just find out the attacker's movement pattern and linked together 4 ignored attacks. It is said the United States also used his system to locate bin Laden. The market didn't buy it when it went public in 2020. Software can be copied before. Sell a set of software to 100 customers. The cost will not increase 100 times. Palantir is different. Every customer has to send an engineer to the factory for several months or even years. The more projects there are, the more people there are. Revenues and costs rise together. In Wall Street's view, this is not buying software but selling people. There's really no room for imagination. So by the end of 2022, its share price is down 84% from its highs. But from 2023 onward, the stock price suddenly took off and doubled dozens of times. The market value once exceeded $400 billion by the end of 2025. Here comes the problem. What happened? They also send people to live in the place. Why did it suddenly become shampoo? Before answering this question, might as well take a look first. What is the entire Ari industry doing now? 2. Why are Ari giants sending people to stay at the site? An MIT study found 95% of enterprise Ari pilots no measurable impact on profits. The model is available. The demo also ran through suspicious into real business. Customers don't know how to use it. Unable to connect data. The process doesn't work. Ari still can't get off the ground. So the Ari giants just start sending people to customers. OpenAI unites 19 institutions. Invested more than $4 billion. Establish a deployment company. AWS spends $1 billion to build team. July 2. Microsoft spends another $2.05 billion. Established an Ari implementation team of 6,000 people. These people who were sent to the scene have a common name, FDE pre-deployment engineer. Speaking in the vernacular, just don't meet the needs at the headquarters. Instead, go directly to the front line of customers. Where is the business stuck? Solve directly on the spot. What FDE does is to demonstrate Ari from its capabilities. Push it to the real work. See this. You may be a little confused. Isn't this just for the software industry? Foundry implementation engineer. The more people we send, the higher the cost, right? Indeed, if FDE only helps customers complete the project in front of them, then it is no different from an ordinary factory. But Palantir's FDE has to do one more thing. Bring solutions found on site back to the company. A former employee who worked at Palantir for 8 years recalls. In the early days, FDE was used to help customers receive data. Able to write tools by myself to understand the data. We'll build a display page in order for business personnel to use. It can also be used directly with the application. These are initially just for a certain customer. What a crude way to think of, but we've seen a lot of local methods. The rules will come out. The same problem occurs repeatedly with different customers. The engineers at the headquarters made it a standard function. See you next customer. Directly use standardized software to solve. No need to start all over again. There are more and more of these standard functions. Eventually, it became a product. Foundry. Today, it drives more than half of Palantir's revenue. Normally, people are stationed in factories and sent out. Bring back the one-time money. Palantir's FDE will also bring back on-the-spot solutions. Become a product. Therefore, the ultimate mission of FDE is not to stay in the factory forever. It's about putting human experience into software. When facing the next customer like this, you can send fewer people, not even sending anyone. Did you find it? Consulting is just the way it serves its customers. Software is the asset it continuously accumulates. Consulting skin, software heart. Then, what implications does this have for the consulting industry? Do you remember the experiment mentioned at the beginning? It's called 2 million Ari landing training camp. 3. Using FDE ideas. Leave the ability to the customer. Why do this experiment? Because Chinese companies face software. There has always been a dilemma. Data for each company. business, process, all are unique. It stands to reason that it should be customized. Customizable, too expensive. But what about standardized products on the market? It may not be suitable for your own business, so we set up a third path. Use ARI to build your own system. In 5 days, we accompanied 10 companies to build a system for each of them. Also, these 5 days, we saw the real stuck point of our own system. ARI just reduces the cost of writing code, but it does not reduce the cost of thinking clearly. What problem to solve? What process to use? The system is divided into several layers. Where is the data stored? These judgments, ARI can't give it. They are in the founder's head, in the mind of the old master. So the ARI era, every company may need someone who understands business, understand the product, understand architecture, people who can also control ARI to work. We call him ITBP, just like HRBP, a technical partner who lives beside the business. But such a person, hard to find on the market. Someone needs to help the company cultivate this person. How to cultivate? Training camp practices. It's like entering the scene like FDE, accompanying enterprises to solve a real problem. Build a system that works. The difference is, Plantier brings field experience back to company. Make software. We leave the ability to solve problems to enterprises. Develop your own ITBP. Plant the ability in this person first, then bring this person into the company. Then we exit. What the company really takes away, not just a system, but later, the ability to use ARI to solve problems yourself. See here. You may ask, wait, you quit. Customers will be able to solve problems by themselves in the future. How else do consulting companies make money? Doesn't this become a one-time deal? I don't think so. Why? 4. From a single project to a long-term companionship. Past. Why should companies consult companies? Because some issues are important, but you don't encounter it often, such as strategic transformation, organizational adjustment, product pricing, only met once in a few years. It's not cost-effective to have a dedicated team. So here comes the question. Hire a consultant. Report handed in. The consultant also left. Sold by traditional consulting. Just one project after another. But ARI is changing that. Industry research, competitive product analysis, data calculation, scheme design. These tasks used to be done by consultants. Now ARI plus the company's own ITBP. You can do a lot of it. This means pay-per-view consulting projects in the past. It will only become less and less. What should I do with this consulting company? I want. ARI can turn quiz questions into multiple choice questions, but I can't choose for you. Should we suppress a new product line? Do you want to change direction? Do you need to adjust the organization? ARI can give you 3 sets of plans. List the pros and cons of each, but it can't save the company's money for you. Team and future. The final decision. Either the entrepreneur himself, either A, accompany him through many critical moments. Get to know the company really well. I've seen enough people who have the pros and cons of winning and losing, and this understanding. It can't be built in a 2-month project. He needs long-term companionship. So the value of consulting companies. It will also change. Help customers develop abilities on a daily basis. Build system. Let him solve most of the problems himself. Critical moment. Accompany him to make those really important choices again. From delivering answers to accompanying decisions. Future. The consulting industry will definitely be subverted by ARI, but consultations won't go away. It'll just change my way of life. Help customers develop problem-solving skills. Accompany customers to make key choices. This is why. Let's first use 2 million ARI to launch the training camp. Throw yourself into the water, because only by keeping the ability to solve problems in the company first, only then can we withdraw from daily execution. Go and accompany them to face those situations for which there is no standard answer. But the moment has to be decided. After all, what really keeps entrepreneurs awake is there is never no option, but I don't know which one to choose. ARI can give options, but it's still hard to make a decision. It's still difficult to make a decision. Consultation is still valuable. Follow you run. Lower the cognitive threshold for business.